And we're back with some more Western Michigan Broncos franchise mode in FHM 9. And in this one, we have the start of year number 3, I believe it is. And it appears we have exceeded the maximum contract limit. So we're going to have to release someone here. We have to release 7 players right now. So we can't ever exceed 35 players, even with no games on the schedule. Can I continue at all? Yeah, no, I can't. I have to release 7 players right now. Ooh. Okay, so this will be, this is certainly a task. I think Mata's got to go right off the bat, considering he's only a half-star ability, half-star potential. He's only a sophomore, but, you know, I have to make some cuts here. So buyout rights, I believe, is what we want here. I don't think there's any other option. Yeah, I believe that's what we have to do. Buyout rights to Lucas Mata. I guess William Blomqvist as well. He's only a 2.5-star potential with the 1-star ability. Nothing about him's too impressive. And we have a ton of defensemen, so yeah. I mean, we have a ton of forwards too. So I probably gotta get rid of some of these guys down here. I'm gonna say Ethan Walders, even though he's a 2-star ability, he's only a 2-star potential, so he's not gonna get any better. And he is a junior as well. Let's see what he did last year. Only 13 games played. Yeah, I think I might release him. 1 point in the playoffs last year. Yeah, I'm going to release Walders. We have 4 goaltenders as well, so I would say probably Ironside, just given that he only has a 2-star potential. Yeah, I'll release Ironside. And I guess Lagerlof, we got a ton of left defensemen and only 3 right defensemen. So it's definitely a left defenseman going no matter what. Just the fact that Lagerlof only has 3-star potential. He's only 2-star ability. He's got a good shooting range, but then again, most defensemen have a good shooting range, so that doesn't particularly intrigue me. Yeah, I think we're gonna release him. Yavash is really bad defensively. he's not looking pretty. Only 5 shot blocking, only 10 defensive read, 9 positioning. Yeah, I'm gonna release him. He's got the 3-star potential, but that is not good. All right, we're down to 36. We need to release 1 more here. I think we're good in goal. Want to keep 3 goaltenders just in case one of them gets injured. Defense, I think that's good. Yeah, we have a lot of forwards. We need to release one of these guys. Like, only half of them are dressed right now. And this is 12 forwards, by the way. Like, literally half of our forwards don't even fit into the lineup. So, yeah, definitely have to release a couple of these guys. Maybe I even should have kept a couple more defensemen, just given how many forwards we have. Between Doucette and Franzen, I think I have to release Franzen because it says on his personality, if he is on your roster, controversy will follow. I don't want that happening too often. I mean, rating-wise, they're pretty similar, but when it comes down to it, personality-wise, Doucette's definitely better. His personality is fairly normal, no huge positives or negatives, but with Franzen, there's definitely a bit of negative there. And it seems like there's some positive too. Everyone loves him and very smart, but you know, the controversy parts I'm not a fan of. So Franzen, we're going to release you. All right, so we are down to 35 players now. So that means we should be able to advance. And into the Hockey Hall of Fame are Henrik Lundqvist, Doug Waits, Bernie Nichols, and Vincent Damphouse. Ooh, we already have some drama. Alexei Sinkinen has been involved in an off-ice incident, and some rifts have appeared in the team, in particular with the following teammates: Samuel Sjöland. All right, how bad is it? They're at a 5. Higher numbers will persist longer. So it seems like this is going to be a ongoing thing, unfortunately. So if this escalates, then, I don't know, I have to think about cutting Sinkinen, because I definitely do not want to cut Sjöland. Oh boy, we have 3 academically ineligible players this year. Freshman Taden Ratty, there is Vincent Dupuis, and then Roman Zapp. I mean, luckily none of them are all too good, so I don't mind not having these players on the roster this year, but still unfortunate. So we may as well just say yes to all of them. All right, so Ratty has agreed to redshirt. Vincent Dupuis has agreed to redshirt as well, and Roman Zapp agrees to redshirt. Very nice. And it appears we also need to set captains here. I guess I'll go with the senior Shingoff as our captain, and then Lindfors as an alternate. He had 27 points in 32 games last year for us. And then on defense, it'll be Cardona, I think. All right, so the conflict has gone down to 4 with Sinkinen and Sjöland, but the team harmony has gone down to quiet hostility. So here's the thing. Should I wait it out and hope that the conflict goes away before the harmony just gets completely out of control? Or should I deal with it? That is the question. I mean, it's gone from 5 to 4 over the course of a month, so I would guess it'd be over soon. All right, I'll just keep an eye on it as we go through the regular season, and hopefully things just don't get out of control. If the bar gets any less than right around here, then I would say I'll deal with it at that point. But for right now, let's just see how things play out. I'm gonna take that gamble. All right, so we're here on National Signing Day, November 10th of 2024. So far, we are 7-2-1, so not doing too bad, even for having some team harmony issues with the conflict with Sinkinen and Seoland. Unfortunately, we do have a clique that has developed, but luckily the team harmony does not have seemed to have dropped since we last checked. So for right now, everything's good. But of course, I'll still be keeping an eye on it as the season progresses. Let's take a look at goalie stats. So Bruveris with a 936 save percentage in 6 games played, doing very well so far. William Hambley, the 4-star ability apparently, with 4 games played and an 899, so coach is definitely going more with Bruveris. Howitt has not played yet. On defense, you have Ozelinch with 11 points in 10 games played. Does he lead our team? Yes, he does, as a defenseman. And then Liam Steele, I believe, was also second, so 2 defensemen leading our point scoring so far. So both of them point per game. I would imagine they're on the same line. Yeah. That is probably a big part of our success right now. Of course, along with the play of Bruveris. Then you have Seoland with 6 points in 8 games. Cardona also with 6 points. Davidson with 5. D'Alessandro with 4. And then 1 for Kroll and Stenger. Dupuis has not played yet. And at forward, you have Kentinen, Shingoth, and Lindfors all with 8 points. You have 7 for Zinchenko. 4 for Stenman, Brooks, Risto, and Tinling. 3 for Patillo and Gojcik. 2 for Grenier, Lemashevsky, Person, Juntorp, and Izagai, and 1 for Holchak, Conradson, Kelvgard, Doucette, Lundberg, and Sinkinen. And then, of course, these 3, Ratty, Zapp, and Smith, I believe are all red shirts. Or no, it's just Zapp and Ratty. Smith is not a red shirt. So overall, doing very well based off that. Let's check out the team stats. Goals for per game, we are sitting 13th in the league with a 3.9. And goals against per game, that is looking great. A 1.9, 4th in the entire league. That is very good to see. One of the top 6 for shots per game as well, 40.9. And then shots against per game, we're 7th in the entire league with only 23.7 per game on average. So yeah, we're looking pretty good this year. Faceoffs were 5th in the league with a 54.9. Oddly enough, we're in the bottom 25% of the league for power play. We have a 12% power play, 48th in the league. That's looking a bit rough. Penalty kill, however, 93.1, 4th in the league. So besides the power play, we're looking pretty good here. Yeah, a lot of good defensive grades on this team too. Conradson, Kelvgard with a 79 as a forward. And then Stenman and Tinling also have defensive grades higher than our best defensemen in Cardona and Davidson. Let's see, so what do we need on National Signing Day? We could use some left wingers, maybe a goaltender. We could also use some right wingers. Now I look at it, all of our right wingers are on our roster. But there's nothing that we desperately need because we only have 1 senior this year. Yeah, and all of our defensemen are either sophomores or freshmen. Yeah, 1 senior is Shingoth at forward, and then 1 junior in Brooks. Everybody else on this team is a sophomore or a freshman. So it's not like we desperately need anything, at least in regards to positions that will need voids to be filled next year. But as far as where we're weak, I don't know. I feel like this team is really well balanced. Maybe we could use... I mean, we only have 9 defensemen right now, and then all of our defensemen who are recruits still, like they're not signed to the team yet, are not looking very good as far as their potential. So maybe a defenseman or 2. I guess we'll just take a balanced approach going into this National Signing Day because there's really nothing that we desperately need. I mean, centers is the one thing I know we have covered because we still have Maxwell Silver coming in soon, who is a 3-star ability, 5-star potential. He's not even on our roster yet. He should be replacing Shingoth once he leaves. So I don't think we need to focus too much on centers, but everything else, we could just sort of take a balanced approach, take a couple of defensemen, a couple of wingers, a couple of goaltenders maybe. So where are we picking in the draft order? Number 14. All right, let's get National Signing Day underway. This is the first nomination. They're nominating a 1-star potential. No thanks. You can take it, Michigan. Oh. Okay, we just crashed. That's fun. Okay, let's try this again. Luckily, I did save right before National Signing Day started, so didn't lose any progress there. But still, hopefully that same crash does not happen again. So here we go, National Signing Day once again. All right, now this is the guy that it froze on last time. I wanted to try offering him a nomination, but when I clicked OK, this is when it crashed. I wonder, will it happen again? Yep. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Not liking that. All right, so we're at the point where we were before. I wonder what would happen if I said no to him. Is he just completely, like, is this player just completely glitched? Or is it just if I offer him a nomination? Okay, it's just if I offer him a nomination. That kind of sucks though. Because, like, can I just not offer a nomination? Yeah, it just freezes, it just crashes whenever I offer a nomination. Oh boy, this isn't looking good. Okay, so we've reached our nomination at number 14. I wonder what happens here. There is, oh wow, Steinhoff looks really good. 3.5-star ability according to our scout, 5-star potential. I mean, his intelligence isn't bad. It's at 12. Could be better, obviously, but let's see. Will it crash here? I can't offer him a full scholarship. I can only offer him partial. Let's see. Okay, so that worked. So we can at least get our own nominations. That's good to know. But it appears I cannot offer nominations to any other player because it essentially crashes every time if I do. So I guess that's a workaround, is just not selecting any of those players, but still, that's kind of, I don't like that. That's definitely a big problem. And I'm not really seeing, one thing I'm noticing, I'm not seeing any 5-star potentials being picked by the computers here. They're all just picking, I haven't seen any higher than 4-star, in fact. Yeah, 1.5-star. The previous couple of years, they've been like, these National Signing Days have been full of 5-star players. And now all of a sudden, like, I'm not seeing any being picked by the computers. I wonder if starting year 3, it's all like generated players, and the quality of those generated players is less than the players that are in the drafts year 1 and 2. I guess that's possible. Because so far, the only 5-star player we've seen has been the player that we chose. Like, I haven't seen any of the AI pick any 5-star players here. I've seen more half-star players than 5-star players, in fact. Yeah, I think just given the fact that the game seems to crash whenever, for some reason, whenever I offer a nomination to any player that isn't on my nomination specifically, and also given the fact that these teams aren't nominating good players, yeah, I think I'm just gonna say no and stop asking me about other teams' nominations, because there doesn't seem to be any point to it right now with how the game's acting. Yeah, so let's just sit ahead. Oh. Yeah, that poses a problem. I'm not going through this draft one by one. I am not going through this draft one pick at a time. That is 1,200 picks. Not good. Yeah, and I didn't save it all since then, so we have to redo all this. So let's see, does it crash if there's no player selected? If I just say, stop asking me about other teams' nominations?
Wait, what's going on? Whoa, whoa!
I mean, I hate to, like, skip National Signing Day, because that's, you know, kind of the big day. Besides the NCAA tournament, like, this is probably the biggest event in this league. So, like, I would hate to just skip this, because, like, that's kind of the whole team building part of this series, you know? Like, there's no free agency, there's no trades. We have to use National Signing Day to get our players, but I don't want the computer just doing everything there. Like, that's the whole point of the NCAA team building, it seems, is National Signing Day, and we can't even complete it. So what if, just for fun, I want to see if I offer a scholarship instead of not offering a scholarship. Does that still crash the game? Yeah.
You're making me work.
I wonder, could I just CPU finish nomination this? I mean, once again, I hate to do that in such an important event, but I don't really see any other option here besides going through each pick manually, and I am not doing that. I am sorry. That is just not happening with how many picks there are in this draft. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I'm not doing this. That's too many. Like that would literally take out. I think that might even take a whole day. I don't know. All right, let's just see. I'm not sure if I'm even gonna save this, but I just want to see what happens. Will this crash the game like everything else seemingly? Oh goodness, this is gonna be a slow process, isn't it? It has to go through like 1,200 picks worth of drafting. All right, so seems to have done something. I think. Are these players from this year? I don't think so. Let's see, draft 2024. Yeah, they are. I guess they are. But didn't we have? No, this was last year, wasn't it? Because we had the 14th overall pick this year. No, this must have been from I guess this must have been from verbal commitments or something. Because I remember drafting Tim Steele with the verbal commitments last year in January. So is that? I don't think the computer made any picks. Let's see, history. Can I check that in draft? Doesn't look like the draft is logged at all. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, National Signing Day log. Here we go. Okay, so it seems there were players selected here, but where are we? We were supposed to be at 14. Now it's the RPI engineers. What is going on here? Is this not this year? No, this is this year. This is 2024-25. Where are we? Did we just did we just not draft at all? Did we just forfeit our picks or something? I don't see us anywhere on this list. What if I go back to last year? Okay, yeah, Stenger is there. Yeah, this was last year's draft. Well, obviously. But it seems that, like, did we not get any players at all by letting the CPU finish the draft? I have a feeling that's the case. Like, if you just let the computer finish the draft, do you not get any players? Like I know I'm scrolling a bit quickly here, but I don't see us anywhere. At least not in the first, like, 500 picks or so. Yeah, and at this point, teams have started to forfeit their picks because you're seeing a large jump in numbers there. I don't think we got any players out of this draft. I think all these players that we see here are from the verbal commitments from last season. Is there a way to check the verbal commitments log? Let's see. Steele, yeah, those players are all from last year, from the verbal commitments. We didn't get any players from the National Signing Day this year by automatically simulating. Ooh, I do not like that. That is not good. Yeah, I think I think this series is going to be put on hold until further notice, because that's kind of game breaking, you know? So hopefully they patch that. I mean, it's weird too, because this is the first time that it's happened within the first 3 years that we've been in the NCAA. That didn't happen at all in the first 2 years, but now it appears starting year number 3 is when it's happened for me. I don't know if that's happened for anybody else who plays FHM 9, but that is certainly a game-breaking bug, and frankly it takes me right out of it. Because that's, like I said, this is the whole appeal behind this league, is the National Signing Day, at least for me, because that's literally just how you build your team. Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, I think we're gonna have to stop the series here for right now. Maybe we'll move on to a team in Europe or something like I was originally planning, because I just wanted to see what the NCAA was about, you know, just given the fact that they introduced it this year as a possibility to play in FHM, but it is clearly still got some bugs to iron out. Okay, so I'm actually recording this part of the video sometime later, because there was recently a patch that dropped for FHM 9 that fixed a lot of the issues with the NCAA, apparently. So we're going to give this one more go. And if it doesn't work this time, then I think we could officially call it the series. And if it does work, then we'll continue the series. So here we go, National Signing Day. Let's try this again. Next nomination. All right, so let's see what happens if I offer Connor Wolitsky a nomination. Yeah, I think it's working now. I think they patched it. I believe they have patched it. Because I'm pretty sure all I could do was select no, but continue to ask me about other nominated players. Anything else and it crashed. What happened to pick number 6? We're pick 14, so that wasn't our pick, but what exactly happened there? I didn't even read the message that popped up on screen. I sort of just clicked OK and just assumed it said the same thing it normally does, but it gave me the option to nominate a player at number 6, but when I did so, something happened, I guess, that made it skip the pick. Okay, so here's our nomination. Unfortunately, our only commitments that we have are all 20-year-olds, and the best one is a 2.5-star potential with Sid McNeil, and even he's not too great. And we also don't exactly need too many defensemen right now. I'm just going to go for Maxwell Silver here. I remember him from the verbal commitment stage earlier. So let's see if we can get him now. Can't offer him a full scholarship, but I can offer him a partial. He's turned us down. He has decided to attend a union. Not good there. So now another thing that I'm noticing is that the computer teams are selecting 5-star ability players now. Because before, if I remember correctly, the computers were just selecting no more than 3.5-star potential players, and most of them honestly it seemed like most of them were 2-star or below, but there were legitimately no 5-star potentials being selected. So now I'm seeing a ton of them now, so I suppose that's one of the things that was fixed in the patch, but it's good to see this now. It really is. It looks like we'll be able to continue this after all, so that is certainly good to know. So Lachlan Tetarenko, hey, all right, we got one. We got a center. He looks pretty good. 2.5-star ability, 5-star potential. He's 17 years of age as well. Yeah, that's a good player. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was taken in the first round of the NHL entry draft at some point. I mean, obviously he's not old enough for that yet, but he is on the watch list for the NHL entry draft of 2025. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes, but hopefully he does not go to the NHL too soon, as obviously I would like to have him on the team for at least a year or two. So let's take a look at our prospects list and see what we have right now. We have a lot of centers. I don't think we need another center. Plus, Tetarenko. So I think we're good there. We have Steele on the wing, but he's not going to be for another year or two. He's only 16. You have Clark in goal, but once again, not for another year or two. So it looks like we need players at every other position. Although we only have one player graduating this year. That's Shingoth. He's a center. So he's pretty easily replaced by Tetarenko, I'd imagine. So it doesn't look like there's anything we desperately need. But I think we'll just stick to the balanced approach here. Take a winger or two, a couple of defensemen, a couple of goalies. look where Tetarenko is on our depth chart already. He's already our 4th best center. He's not even on the team yet. Okay, so ignoring centers for right now, let's take a look at defensemen and wingers. Start with defensemen. There is Jace McFowle. Ooh, not a bad puck handler there. Actually, he's pretty well-rounded as a whole. 3-star ability, 5-star potential at 17 years of age. Only 5'9", but I mean, that's not the worst thing at the college level, So yeah, I think we'll take Jace McFowle here. He's got 15 intelligence too, so that helps. So nominate Jace McFowle, and roster limit is reached. Okay, never mind. And it appears we will not be taking any players here, from what I am seeing. Unless I can get like some 15 or 16-year-olds, since they wouldn't count as being on my roster right away. But I guess maybe getting 17-year-olds does, since McFowle would probably be on the roster next year, right? But what if I got like a 16-year-old? Would it count that against the roster, like Degenstein here? I mean, I know it's another center, but he's the only talented 16-year-old left here. So no, we can't. Just roster limit is reached. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I guess we're done here. I mean, there's not much else I can really do, right? I mean, I guess we'll just let the AI do this, but I wouldn't imagine that it would pick a player because it wouldn't let me pick, right? So what, that was pick... Yeah, that was pick 75, so it just skipped it. I see what happened earlier. Okay. I know what happened earlier with pick number 6 now. It makes more sense. The team that had that nomination must have had too many players on their roster, so it might have skipped them. That's my theory as to what's happening here. But I'd say it's pretty spot on. So given that we can't really do much else now, we will simply stop nominating and finish the draft. All right, so that's good though. It's good to know that they fixed all of that in a patch, so this series can continue. And even though we did only get one player out of that draft, it was a pretty darn good player in Lachlan Tetarenko. So hopefully he turns out to be good for us for, like I said, for at least a couple of years. Yeah, apparently he's a 4.5-star player in his current league, the AJHL. Let's see his career stats so far. His career stats, he has 11 points in 11 games with the Drayton Valley Thunder. He had 63 points last year and 67 points in 40 games in the U18 league for Alberta. All right, so I suppose with that out of the way, we'll keep going through year number 3 here, and I think we'll stop at the verbal commitments. All right, we are officially at January 1st. We are 15-2-1 so far on the season. We are first in our division with 31 points, especially considering our record last year. I mean, we're on track to absolutely shatter our record from not only last year, but the year before as well. And actually, I believe did I see some team harmony issues? Yeah, Sinkinen and Siolin still. I mean, at least it's down to 3. Before it was at 5, if I'm not mistaken. So this should subside soon. I hope, anyway. I mean, I would imagine the team's success definitely has something to do with the quiet hostility not dropping any further than it has. But if this drops too far, then we might have to do something about it. So before we end things off here, let's take a look at the stats so far for the season. So leading our team in scoring so far is Tim Lindfors with 17 points in 18 games played, followed up by Liam Steele on defense with 16. Then you have 15 for Shingoth, the captain. Then you have 14 for Kettinen, 12 for Ozelants, 11 for Tinling, 9 for Sioland, Zinchenko, and D'Alessandro, 8 for Davidson, 7 for Cardona, Brooks, and Stenman, 6 for Izagai and Gojsik, 5 for Risto and Conrad Kelgard, 4 for Holchak and Yuntorp, 3 for Portillo and Krull, 2 for Grenier, Stenger, Lemashevsky, Sinkinen, and Person, and then 1 for Doucet and Lundberg. And now for the goaltender stats, in 12 games played, Bruveris with a .941 save percentage and 3 shutouts. My man. He may have less star talent than Hambley does on paper, but man, is he ever putting up quite the performance. And I mean, Hambley's not doing too bad himself this year either. In 6 games played, he has a .926, but still Bruveris. I wish Coach had gotten to him last season instead of him sitting as the third stringer. All right, now let's take a look at the team stats. Goals for, we are 13th in the league with a 3.67, and goals against per game, we are first in the league with a 1.56. That is pretty impressive. Faceoffs, we're 11th with a 52.9. Power play, we are, where are we? Oh my, we're 48th in the league with a 14.3% power play. Penalty kill, we are first in the league with a 94.4. Wow. So defense is absolutely killing it this year. Anyway, I think that is enough for now. We've been through quite a bit in this episode already, so we're going to end it off here. And in the next one, we will go through the verbal commitments and get through the rest of year number 3. See you guys in the next one.